Ai, cara, volta pra gravar. Tá, vamos ver aqui, mano. Esse eventinho do Xbox. A caixa X. Vamos ver como tá. Algo bonito. Pô, começou a chover agora, mano. Acho que mostraram, né? Vai ter alguma coisa de, tipo, é Doom? Alguma coisa. Não lembro. É importante lembrar que o quê? Todos os jogos. Essa porra de ler geralmente. Todos esses jogos aí, mano, quando lançarem Day One no Xbox. Ué. Cara, já vou anunciar com um misterioso? Que foda. Chuvinha. Devoloper. É um Ninja Gaiden? Não, não sei.
こんにちは、超えてくもゲームスチーム忍者の安田文彦です。今日は皆様にチーム忍者が長く大切にしてきたアクションシリーズの新情報を発表できる機会をいただけてとても嬉しく思います。早速ですが、こちらをご覧ください。
sem mais tá feliz de anunciar, fazer anúncio aí, sem mais delongas, olha aí.
Several years ago, the Dark Dragon, youngest of the divine dragon gods, wreaked havoc across the world. The plot was ultimately thwarted through the efforts of a sole ninja. However, the Dark Dragon's husk remained, and from this husk fell an endless downpour of cursed rain. The abandoned Tokyo continues its struggle against chaos to this day.
Infiltrated the facility. Commencing mission.
Platinum Games. Legal, né? Os caras metem um ninja que cai com investe, um jogo menos furtivo que isso.
No escape.
Usa sangue. Parece.
This is it. Ryu Hayabusa.
Whatever your clan is plotting, it ends here. So you've come, Raven.
Back off, Hayabusa. I will execute my mission.
Ninja Gaiden 4. Nossa, não sei nada de Ninja Gaiden.
世界中の町人の皆さん、10年以上大変お待たせしました。最強の忍者となり容赦なく襲い来る敵に挑むハイスピードアクション忍者ガイデンのナンバリング最新作として忍者ガイデン4を発表させていただきました。本作はプラチナゲームズさんとの協業で開発を進めています。
Colaboração do Team Ninja com a Platinum Games.
プラチナゲームズさんのアクションゲームというジャンルにおける実績は言うまでもなく、ベヨネッタやニアオートマタなど素晴らしいアクションタイトルを生み出してこられました。忍者ガイデン4というタイトルを10年以上の時を超えて新たに皆様にお届けするにあたり、より多くの方に新鮮な気持ちでプレイしていただけるよう、新たな世界を新主人公であるもう一人の町人ヤクモで冒険するという形で制作することにしました。先ほどご覧いただいた映像の中で竜はやぶさも登場しておりましたが、彼は今回も物語に密接に関わってきます。なぜヤクモと戦うことになったのか、竜はやぶさが戦う目的は何なのか、本作の物語の中で展開していきます。
任務は必ず成し遂げる。邪魔をするな。
物語は黒竜がもたらした正気の雨によって荒廃した首都東京が舞台となっています。この雨は黒竜がまだ生きている証であり、雨が止まない限り東京に安寧は訪れません。今作の新主人公であり、はやぶさと対をなすカラス一門に所属するヤクモが首都東京で黒竜を倒し、この世界を晴らすため戦いに身を投じます。
これまで忍者外伝シリーズで描かれてきたダークでハードな世界観は継承し、そこにさらに危機を感じさせる要素として呪いやより混沌とした景観のデザインを取り入れています。ステージプレイ中に街が呪いの影響を受け、ビルは崩れ、道は歪み、ヤクモをピンチに陥れることでしょう。舞台となる東京はとある出来事によって街全体が崩壊し、魔族やヤクモと敵対する勢力がひしめき合う状態になっており、環境全体がプレイヤーに牙を向くように感じられるはずです。前作より立体的に自由度の増した危険に満ちたステージを忍具やシリーズおなじみの体術など忍者アクションを駆使して乗り越えていくことになります。レールアクション、スイングアクションなどのダイナミックで爽快なシチュエーションを多く追加しました。これら以外にもさまざまなシチュエーションやチャレンジ、隠されたアイテムなどを用意しており、ステージが進むごとに上がっていくテンションにも驚いていただけると思います。
新しい主人公のヤクモは竜はやぶさに次ぐ新たな町人です。彼にはまだ若さも残っていますが、カラス一門を背負う天才忍者でもあり、忍者外伝シリーズにおける忍者の頂点、竜と肩を並べる世代の町人たり得る人物としてデザインしています。そんなヤクモの前に立ちふさがるのは荒れ果てた東京の治安維持組織であり、黒竜の封印を守る竜神島や現世に蔓延する人ならざる者妖魔、そしてもちろんシリーズおなじみの魔人も登場します。また現時点では公開していませんが、新たなキャラクターやシリーズファンの方に喜んでいただける人物も登場しますので、続報にご期待ください。
従来のシリーズからバトルスピードをさらに加速させ、目にも止まらぬスピードで敵との攻防を繰り広げることができます。さらにヤクモが使える新要素、結節忍術ヌエの型を駆使したダイナミックな攻撃によって、これまでから大きく進化した1対他の戦闘を可能にしました。ヌエの型ではこれまでの忍者ガイデンにはない広範囲かつ一撃必殺の攻撃となっており、多勢に無勢の状態が長く続く戦況を一気に覆すことができます。もちろん1対1の戦闘における比率も健在です。プレイヤー同様、敵もガードや回避をしてくるため、緊張感のあるフェアな戦闘を味わうことができます。敵の動きをしっかりと捉えながら一瞬の隙を逃さずに攻撃を仕掛けていくことが重要です。ヌエの方によって忍者ガイデンのアクションの味わいにさらなる進化を感じられるかと思います。
特にアクションに関しては手触り、バランス調整など細部にわたり日々議論させていただき、 会社の垣根を越えた密なやり取りをさせていただいています。本作の主人公であるヤクモは竜とは一味違うアクションを有していますが、その中でもしっかりと忍者ガイデンらしさを感じていただけると思います。例えばカラス、ヌエ、2つの型があるという点がヤクモの大きな特徴ですが、それらが持つ多彩な性能のアクションを用いて敵や状況ごとに使い分ける攻略の深みや滅却、絶技などを絡めた抑揚あるスピーディーな攻防などはもちろんヤクモでも健在です。
ヤクモと竜ハヤブサはそれぞれがかなり異なる個性的な遊び心地になっていますので、さまざまな戦闘バリエーションを楽しむことができるようになっています。
estilo de gameplay diferente, o cara meteu o Lotus Oculto aí do Rock Lee.
ヤクモ、そして竜ハヤブサの双方で飛燕、伊豆直しなどシリーズおなじみのアクションも駆使しつつ新アクションを織り交ぜた新しい忍者ガイデンにご期待ください。忍者ガイデンシリーズに色濃く残っている歯ごたえやグレードの高いアクション体験の継承、さらに我々プラチナゲームズの特徴であるスピーディーなアクションやダイナミックな演出も取り入れ、進化した正当続編を作り上げるべく総力を挙げて開発を進めております。
容赦ない敵とのいかなる攻防にもフェアに戦える手触りをヤクモでも目指しています。皆様に進化した忍者ガイデンを触っていただける日を楽しみにしています。
シリーズファンはもちろんのこと、忍者ガイデンを初めてプレイする方でも存分に楽しめる作品になっておりますので、ぜひ発売をお待ちください。
長年にわたってプラチナゲームズさんと共にまさに忍者のように潜んで忍者ガイデン4の開発を進めてきましたが、ついに発表することができて非常に嬉しく思います。2025年秋に本作を皆様にお届けできるのを楽しみにしています。続報にもぜひご期待ください。
Em outono? Então, é agora então, né? Porque inverno não.
さて、本日お伝えしたい発表はそれだけではありません。こちらをご覧ください。
Calma, eles têm outra coisa? Eles têm mais? Só precisa decidir exatamente o caminho. Ah, esse é o trailer oficial. Eu acho. Cara, eu sou de jogo japonês. Mano, japonês tem que ser um bagulho estudado, né? Olha essa porra de jogo, velho. O cara passou por uns 30 cenários diferentes. Em um momento, em um take, o cara tá tendo um pouco andando de moto, dando grau andando por prédios e estruturas gigantes. No outro, o cara tá lutando com um demônio e virando um duelo samurai, velho. É incrível. Jogo bom é assim, velho. Ah, mas esse é o 2. Mesmo assim, não muda.
忍者ガイデン2のオリジナル版は2008年に Xbox360 で発売し、バイオレンスな表現とハイスピードなバトルを皆様にお楽しみいただいた作品です。本作忍者ガイデン2ブラックはオリジナル版の表現に立ち戻り、アンリアルエンジン5を用いてグラフィックを大幅に刷新、忍者ガイデン2の完全版として開発いたしました。綺麗なグラフィックでお楽しみいただけるのはもちろん、竜ハヤブサに加え、あやね、もみじ、レイチェルもプレイブルキャラクターとして登場します。そして本作は本日コンソール、PC、そして Xbox ゲームパスでこの後すぐに発売となります。忍者ガイデンシリーズを長年応援いただいている皆様はもちろんのこと、本日忍者ガイデンを知っていただいた皆様も忍者ガイデン4の発売前にぜひ本作をお楽しみください。
Ou simplesmente aprender a gostar disso?
今年はチーム忍者創立30周年の節目であり、本日発表させていただいた忍者ガイデン4を含め2025年は忍者の年、イヤーオブザ忍者となります。ぜひ忍者ガイデンシリーズの展開にご注目ください。本日はありがとうございました。
Sendo sincero, não tenho nem nada. Só achei outras áreas mais interessantes. Não tenho nem nada. Ah, mano, pô, é isso, né? Mano, evento bom é esse aqui, ó. Não posso fazer sinal com a mão, perdão. gangues do Brasil, não me prendam, não me matem. Ah, mas, pô... coisa boa é assim, mano. É um atrás do outro, ó. E eu lembro desse jogo, cara. Esse jogo era mó legal. Eu acho que passa em New Orleans, não é? Esse jogo era divertido, cara.
Hi, and welcome to Compulsion Games here in Montreal, Canada. At our studio, we care about world building. And we treat the setting almost like a character of its own. From the magical noir of contrast to the alternate history we have to view, we draw inspiration from the landscape to shape mood, drama, and intrigue. For South of Midnight, our third-person action-adventure game, the story and characters bring a folkloric Deep South to life. This gave us a chance to explore Southern Gothic themes with a dark fantasy twist. So while our protagonist Hazel is at the forefront of our story, it's the macabre elements and larger-than-life creatures that will leave a mark on her journey and growth.
Crocodilo. Tô com os jogos da hora pra jogar, mas tô com preguiça. Síndrome gamer?
It is really picking up out there. Did you pack everything?
Mama, this ain't my first hurricane. I know what to do.
As long as you didn't forget the
flashlights and batteries.
Oh, shoot, we got 5 minutes. Let's go.
Won't be rushed if you didn't.
Don't mumble. Speak on it.
I said we wouldn't be rushed if you didn't waste all that time at the shelter.
Now, you want to bring this up right now?
I'm just saying.
Hazel, please.
We might need some help. I might need some help. While you're out helping everybody else.
Hazel!
A mulher, tipo, vai no... Pura. Calma aí, pô. Ela tava reclamando de ajudar os outros. Aí, pô, ela saiu e
Hazel
acabou.
may start her journey as a typical 19-year-old, but
ela é a mulher que faz o
disastrous
negócio.
events will push her into a darkly magical world where she'll learn who she really is and how to tap into weaving, an ancient magical power that redefines her trajectory in life.
The land itself chooses
Mano, eu sou
Hazel
uma pessoa
as a
que vive muito
weaver,
no momento, velho. Eu não penso muito no
someone who can see beyond the surface
com o que
and
eu
tap
tenho.
into deeper reality, the grand tapestry. Weavers can see the fabric
E foco
binding
no que
our
eu tenho que
worlds,
fazer.
connecting people, nature, and echoes of the past.
Keep those hands to yourself.
Hazel can perceive both the mystical strands and stigmas in the world. Through her newfound power,
Mano, eu vou muito
she
jogar esse jogo, velho.
reweaves these stigmas and mends the afflicted creatures she encounters.
jogo do Xbox.
As Hazel discovers her power, the world gradually shifts into
controle do
the surreal,
PlayStation. Será que ele
revealing that
reconhece?
creatures from the
E
old
eu
folk
consigo jogar
tales
pelo controle do
actually
PlayStation?
exist.
You up here, my salvation.
Among them is good old Catfish, the storyteller who becomes both the guide and companion to Hazel across the game.
It ain't every day I hear about a new weaver such as yourself. Would you kindly
Meu
do your
objetivo mais
weaver
próximo é ganhar
thing and
dinheiro pra
help
ter
me
um setup
down?
foda e comprar o jogo.
Meeting Catfish marks the true beginning of Hazel's journey. All of Hazel's arsenal and powers are designed around textile crafting and traditional
procura de uma
spinning
placa
wheels.
gamer.
Her
Placa gamer
weapons
não, né?
include a
Uma
spindle,
placa de vídeo melhor.
2 weaving hooks,
o Lost.
and a distaff. Her magic abilities manifest with supernatural lace-like patterns,
Eu
blending the
tô,
traditional craft with
namorando
mystical
com uma placa
elements.
de vídeo, velho. Só
Hazel
esperando ela tá em
engages
promoção
with
pra
the
eu
world
comprar.
through a variety of movement abilities. Those abilities also help Hazel progress on a journey.
As her journey unfolds, Hazel will master new weaving
E, tipo,
abilities,
é o primeiro passo
using
pra
them
melhorar
to
o
traverse the
primeiro passo não, né?
world,
Já deu o primeiro passo,
conjure
já
objects, and
memória
confront
rápida.
adversaries.
Agora o próximo passo é a faca de vídeo.
Combat is about understanding and adapting to
Gostei do
different
sotaque
enemy
desse
archetypes
bagulho.
known as aints. The manifestations of corruption Hazel encounters.
These
tinha que pegar
hates
o áudio
trap
do
Hazel
bagulho,
in
né?
combat until she unravels them, destroying them in the process.
Each aint has its own unique moveset, strengths, and weaknesses that you'll need to learn and adapt to.
Vai pra tudo.
For example,
Tudo
the
que pensei em
spot
uns
burrows on the ground
upgrades
can
e vou
unleash
basicamente montar
devastating
outro
strikes from
PC.
afar,
Mano,
while the
pior que
Ravager closes the distance
o meu
with chilling
PC
speed.
ele é meio que mediano.
Hazel
Então,
encountered
tipo
these
assim,
threats with agile
eu tô indo
melee
peça por
abilities
peça.
to
Tô
execute
montando
powerful
um pouco.
combos, jump attacks,
Primeiro eu peguei memória RAM, agora eu vou pra placa de
charge
vídeo.
attacks.
Depois
But
eu
close
vou pra
combat is
placa mãe
risky and can
processador.
backfire because aints have powerful defensive abilities.
Pois, pô.
Mastering your magical
Vendo tudo e
skills
vou pra
becomes the
Chique
key to
Bahia.
gaining the upper hand in combat. Push, pull, and weave are some of the spells at your disposal that give you a tactical advantage during a fight. Timing
Esse é o plano,
is
né?
everything.
Vamos ver
Pull
como é que vai ser a
distant
prática.
enemies close to start melee combos. Push them back to interrupt and stun their attack. Then, press the advantage with follow-up strikes.
Combatezinho,
Spells
bacana.
interact uniquely with each enemy type, creating dynamic combat scenarios, especially when facing multiple types of opponents at the same time. Once near death, enemies can be
Eu jogando esse jogo,
breaking their
colocando no
core and setting
difícil
them free of their
e dando a
corruption,
vida
which
pra
has the
passar.
added benefit of providing L boosts and reducing ability cooldowns. If you play your combos right, you can enhance Hazel's combat readiness and keep on chaining her abilities. As Hazel progresses in the game, she unlocks new
Tá
moves
ruim, mas
and
tá
improved
funcionando.
abilities, and you'll
Tá
have to
ruim, mas tá
decide which
funcionando.
areas to prioritize. The upgrades will change how you approach combat, like enhancing area-effect attacks,
Pouco a pouco.
or refining push and pull skills to improve precision and make them feel more rewarding.
Olha que tá basicamente o plano
The
de trocar
combat
o PC,
system
mas
is
pra ser
fast
sincero, isso vai
and
demorar pra
responsive,
caramba.
built around chaining attacks, landing precise strikes, and unraveling enemies.
You mind if I take a look around? You can see every place old Molly terrorized and more. Now for the low price of $1.
In Hazel's search for her mother, you'll explore multiple regions, each ruled by a mythical creature with their own Southern Gothic history. You'll gradually uncover the backstories of these beings, once human or animal, who were transformed by tragedy, their secrets waiting to be discovered. As a weaver, Hazel heals these creatures by collecting fragments of haunted memories. We call these echoes, which reveal each creature's past. Hazel must experience these echoes before she can mend them.
A gente meio que vai entender a história do... A gente vai ver que
We
entender a
design
história
each
dos
region to
bichos
reflect the creature that's been doomed
pra
to wander.
depois...
From the atmospheric
Cada um tem um
environment
passado
to
trágico.
unique
Ou seja,
music
nada.
themes composed for each one. While not all
Vamos
encounters
jogar
lead
com
to
adulto.
direct combat, Hazel will need to face mythical creatures in epic confrontation before she can heal them. Our boss encounters and gameplay sequences also reflects the uniqueness of each creature, with distinct mechanics that center around a specific thematic. These encounters feature multiple phases that ramp up in complexity. As the encounters progress, the musical
hora,
theme
né?
builds up,
Eu adoro boss
cranking the tension alongside the fight. Whether it's Two-Toed Tom
Nem te conta, meu
or
professor,
Hugging
nome
Molly,
de filosofia.
each of these
Cara
larger-than-life
do
creatures
Walter
is
White.
inspired by Southern folklore and lead to climactic battles.
We got a long journey ahead.
South of Midnight unfolds as a hero's journey, and as
Falar pra ele
Hazel,
dizer,
you'll
"Say
travel through a
my
tapestry of Southern-inspired landscapes.
Say my name.
From abysmal swamps
Captain.
to flooded farmlands to the Appalachian peaks. In our magical
Até o
South,
cavanhaque.
decaying buildings reclaimed by nature stand moments away from a
Eu tive
hungry
um professor que lembrava um pouco o
and
Kratos,
as
só,
Hazel
tipo,
delves
o Kratos
deeper,
de 2018.
reality bends ever more toward
Barbudão
the
assim,
fantastical.
testa grande,
The
só que ele tinha
history,
cabelinho ralo.
landscape, and folklore of the American Deep South fill our world, and our team has infused the game with thoughtful details and environmental storytelling,
Caralho,
like our bottle
filosofia com
trees and
Walter
hate
White,
blue
mano.
porches, which are said to ward off
O
evil
cara só trabalhando
spirits.
com a droga errada, velho.
The weight of the past emerges as central themes, which you can see through old abandoned buildings and businesses struggling to survive. As you explore, you'll meet locals who stayed behind even in the face of a hurricane.
That's why I'm the last person left here. All those damn haints. This part of the river's filthy with them.
Artistically, we're staying true to our moody compulsion signature style. But this time, we're using a handcrafted approach inspired by stop-motion animation,
falei
which
que era
allows
stop
our team to
motion,
bring a
mano.
distinct personality and tone into every prop and character. Because this
Nossa,
folklore is
stop motion
open
é
to
muito
visual
trabalhoso, velho.
interpretation,
Nossa.
we embrace the freedom to reimagine these creatures and their stories, to adapt how they look, and to craft our own version of a fantastical Deep South.
At Compulsion Games, we love to craft around central themes. We are lucky to have talent across all our disciplines that collaborate to give South of Midnight such a unique personality. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into South of
Espero que seja
Midnight.
dublado,
We're
mano. Eu
thrilled
quero
to
escutar
announce that the game will launch on
Bagre
April 8th,
brasileiro.
and pre-orders are now
Puta, mano, esse jogo
available on
parece passar
Xbox and
fome.
Steam.
Cerca de décadas. Mano, deve ser porque é bonequinho, né? Tipo assim, todo mundo é meio, pô, seco, né? Ou coisa. Não tem ninguém mais bochechudo. Exato. Ó, em abril. Cara, logo ali. Logo ali, ó. Sandal. Mano, aquele jogo ali, eu acho que ele vai ser... Eu acho que ele não vai ser bom, mas ele vai ser divertido de jogar.
Bonjour, everyone. We are Sunfall Interactive, and welcome to our nano.
Eu acho que ele parece muito genérico, mano, pra ser tipo assim, pô.
We are a small studio based in Montpellier, France, working on our first game, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It's a turn-based RPG set in a fantasy version of late 19th century Devoloper France. Our grand adventure in game development actually started as a solo passion project. I wanted to create something like the JRPGs with turn-based combat I grew up with and loved, but that fully leveraged the latest tech, refresh the genre with new features, and took place in a compelling world. I knew I needed help to realize my dream. First, I turned to a programmer I knew would get it.
Guillaume and I started trading ideas right away, and that quickly turned into trading files back and forth. Soon, I was creating the first prototypes of the reactive turn-based system, combining real-time offense and defense elements and a cinematic battle camera system. Things really clicked when we tested the first version of these features. We felt we had something both challenging and fun.
As Tom and I went back and forth and iterated on game elements, a vision started to come together, and I shared it with an old friend from university.
Guillaume and I are both passionate gamers, and when he described the project, I quit my job the following week and joined the team without hesitation. Because I believe that in video games, success always starts with a strong creative vision. And we had that defined by 3 core elements. A story with great emotional depth, gameplay that innovates on the classics we love, and a world that is completely original, beautiful, and immersive. We founded Sunfall Interactive on these tenets. A group of friends with a shared vision and the drive to make something great.
Eu já joguei Gris. Gris é bonito. Gris é bonito.
This too is your legacy.
Core to every great RPG is a compelling story.
Eu acho que o jogo tem tipo 3 horas.
And Guillaume and I spent 4 years intensively developing and refining ours. And that started with the hook. 67 years ago, a massive slumbering paintress and a monolith appeared with no warning. Once a year, the paintress wakes and paints a number on her monolith, and everyone who has passed that age is erased. Every year, that number ticks down, and everyone dies younger and younger. Expeditions depart to kill the paintress, determined to fight until their final breath, but none have ever returned. Our story follows
dia apareceu esse monolito, esse bagulho, e tem a pintora. E todo ano a pintora pinta um número. E quem já passou desse número vai de Thanos.
Guillaume and I knew early on that we didn't want to focus on good versus evil. What's interesting to us are people who, yes, are flawed, but who care deeply about each other. And conflicts arise because they have different perspectives on what needs to be done.
I'm sorry about Aria.
We wanted our story to feel dark and mature, with adult characters who feel like real people with real experiences.
I'm always missing something that everyone else just gets.
The heart of the story is about overcoming an existential threat while struggling with loss and grief. And it's rooted in the characters' relationships, both to each other and to themselves.
What are we gonna do, huh? Tell me. What are we gonna do?
In a world like this, how does one stay hopeful or make peace with their fate? What duty do we owe to each other or to ourselves? These questions are deeply personal to me, and they permeate the story behind the story.
Tem mais de protagonista.
Know that Lumiere fights with you. Tomorrow comes Expedition 33.
Tirado das vozes da minha
characters
mente.
all have their own motivations and perspectives. Gustavo and Lune are deeply invested in the expedition, even if they fight all the time. To them, the mission is tied not only to their family, it's central to their identity and purpose.
Protocol doesn't cover every contingency. You know that.
Contrast that with Ciel, whose darkest days have already happened.
Se pá, tem mais de final. Mano, RPG de turno.
Actually,
se tiver escolha,
I'm the one
certeza.
whispering to them. It's something my dad and I used to do.
And Maëlle, who cares more about really living her life, not just living longer.
Gustav, are you
Real.
Mas de Gustavo. Nossa, tem eu no...
Along the way, they meet various NPCs.
O nome do cara que construiu a Torre Eiffel chamava Gustavo Eiffel.
And a fully playable character. He has a really cool battle mechanic where he can turn into the enemies he defeats.
What are you doing?
Just need your foot. Aha!
O cara, ele vira o que ele come.
Has seen many expeditions come and go. He is a Gestrol, which are a group of playful beings who view battle as a form of meditation. They're fun and sort of ridiculous. You'll meet Monoko and many other Gestrols across the game.
Que puto jogando Detroit.
And of course, there is SK, who is one of the oldest and lore-wise the most powerful creatures in the universe.
SK is that powerful?
He will be your mount and help you travel to secret corners of the world. If you bring him back with special stones, you can unlock abilities for him to access new areas of the world and find exciting secrets.
But I'm not
that strong. Everyone has their own reason for joining the expedition, and each of them has their own story arc and resolution that we think players will really connect with.
Cara, legal, mano.
In addition to a strong narrative, we had a clear vision for our own take on the genre's core gameplay. Our reactive turn-based system takes the traditional turn-based battle mechanic we love and adds real-time reaction, which gives combat
o que eu não gosto
é
esses números altos, mano. Eu não gosto de RPG com número muito alto.
Damage by dodging or parrying at the right time. But balancing turn-based with real-time mechanics took a long time to get right. During initial playtests, turn-based players often found the real-time elements too hard. Some of us are still traumatized by enemies from back then. We've done a lot of rebalancing since, and with a lot of iteration, we ultimately came up with a formula that we're proud of. Players who are good at real-time can take more risks, and others can counterbalance with items and strategies. A big part of that formula lies in the many ways you can customize your character. We spend a lot of time designing each character's unique mechanics and their custom skill trees. Our philosophy is making every type of playstyle viable so that everyone can have fun with how they play the game. Each character has a unique mechanic. Miles switches between stances which can ultimately boost defense or power. I personally like to make Miles the protector of the group, but I'm pretty much the only one at the studio who plays her that way. Most people play her as a glass cannon with Gustav's complementary skills. The characters can also equip hundreds of passive effects, which in our game I have called Lumina. Every character has more than 20 unique skills in their skill tree and hundreds of passive effects they can gain through Lumina and weapons. So there are a ton of builds and playstyle to explore. Needless to say, we can't wait to see how you choose to play and what kinds of build you'll design that we probably never even imagined.
Our story is set in the French fantasy world, and I was really excited to design something unique.
Diretor de arte. Tem uns bagulho da hora, a arte é legal, mano. A gente não pode negar que a arte é da hora.
For example, the Gestrol Village is an early area in the game where players can enjoy a fun break. We wanted something that feels chaotic, grungy, and toy-like.
Mas eu vou mentir não, o que me
deixa
meio com o pé atrás é o combate.
Disorganized, chaos everywhere,
apesar de parecer que você anda, tipo,
built without much thought. It's a place where anyone could fight you at any point, which is pretty much what the Gestrols are like.
Quando entra o combate, é por turno.
The Gestrol village is hidden inside the ancient sanctuary. The ideas here were forest, labyrinth, and sentinels. I designed it as a vibrant place, like an old graveyard of Gestrols, or forgotten wooden toys in a box, with two main colors, red and white. I wanted to make it feel cozy, hidden from danger, with traps and labyrinths in case enemies get in. Same process with the characters. Monoko came in a single concept. I thought of a monkey-like body, white fur with a black and red flat mask.
Ladies, could I?
Ow!
Definitely a Gestrol.
For SK, we needed a cuddly companion to take us around the world. I thought instantly of a giant inflatable balloon and old Victorian pillows with many intricate motifs. We start with the core themes and ideas, and the visuals grow organically from there.
From the very start of the project, there was one thing that we absolutely wanted to bring back from older JRPGs. A feature we really loved, but is very rare these days. A completely 3D and navigable world map. Yes, we've got a world map. And it was a real challenge to create, both artistically and technically. And it ended up a lot bigger than we expected. You'll definitely need SK's help traveling around.
Os caras trouxeram aquele bagulho de navegar pelo mapa.
There's a lot of side paths and entire hidden levels. If you want to fight the toughest bosses of the game, you will have to explore. Good luck.
Fiquei tão triste por estar liso igual está agora, bando subnar.
Into this game for the past 4 years. That's why we're delighted to announce that Expedition 33 launches on April 24th on Xbox Series X and S and is available day one with Xbox Game Pass. You can already wishlist the game and follow us for more info.
We are super excited to invite you into the world of Expedition 33. We are a small, passionate team, it's our debut game, and we can't wait for you to discover our story, our world, and our take on the turn-based genre. On behalf of everyone at Sunfall, thank you for joining us. Tomorrow comes.
Demain viendra.
Tomorrow comes.
Demain viendra.
Demain viendra.
Tomorrow comes.
Cara, abril vai vir forte, hein, mano. 24 de abril, 8 de abril. Isso aí é Doom, né? Nossa, com certeza é Doom.
Hello, and welcome to Dallas, Texas, home of id Software. Where more than 30 years ago, a small team of game developers helped define and set a course for first-person shooters. A lot has changed since then, but our team is as passionate as ever. And the most important values at the core of our games, innovation, craftsmanship, and performance, remain a priority for us to this day.
And as you're about to see, those values are infused in every aspect of this latest installment in the legendary Doom franchise. It is an honor to work on this game, to carry on id's tradition of creating all-out, groundbreaking levels of fun.
So now, we're excited to share with you a look at our most ambitious game yet. This is Doom: The Dark Ages.
That was so stupid I mouthed the words.
Mano, esse é o jogo mais foda que os caras tá fazendo pelo falaram, né? Pelo clickbait que mandaram. Vamos ver. Tá aí outra franquia de jogo que eu nunca joguei mano.
In Doom: The Dark Ages, you will feel like the super weapon in the center of a medieval war against hell. Set in a cinematic sci-fi fantasy world full of locations to explore, powerful weapons to unlock, and enemies to conquer. This is a prequel to Doom 2016, and that's given us the opportunity to reimagine every aspect of this experience. So if you're new to the franchise, then Doom: The Dark Ages will be the perfect entry point into the series. And if you're a longtime fan, then you'll be proud to see, in a lot of ways, the feel of the game is really a return to form. So let's break it down, starting with the combat. In Doom Eternal, you felt like a fighter jet. In Doom: The Dark Ages, you'll be an iron tank. Heavy, strong, but still fast. A grounded combat system with an emphasis on power over the acrobatics of Doom Eternal. And a balance between enemy projectiles and player movement speed that makes strafing to aim viable again, just like in the classic Doom games. But it's not all about nostalgia. Innovation is the goal, always. And so for Doom: The Dark Ages, it's an all-new world with new tools and new mechanics to master. Let me introduce you to the Shield Saw. Block. Throw.
Wow, parry.
Deflect. All from one input. It's contextual, tons of depth on a single button press. You know, we want every Doom game to stand on its own as a unique experience. So in 2016, we asked you to run and gun. In Doom Eternal, it was jump and shoot. And in Doom The Dark Ages, you're gonna stand and fight.
Legal, tipo assim, eles queriam fazer pra cada Doom algo meio que diferente.
And the Shield Saw will give you the strength to go head to head with some of the biggest, baddest demons we've ever created at id.
Aí nesse você, tipo, no outro você era mais um DPS, né? Tipo, mais móvel, mais tudo. Agora nesse aqui você é mais um tanque, mais parrudo.
Or even a Doom Spiked Mace. That's right, we have 3 melee options that are part of a melee system. All on one input, complete with combos and upgrades. And it's totally awesome.
O cara tem 3 armas melee, velho.
With an all-new, unsynced, completely in the player's control glory kill system. From any angle, in and out, as you see fit. And it feels amazing. You'll feel unstoppable, smashing your way through the horde with total freedom. And that seems like a ton, but that's just 2 inputs. We got one more really important button that we haven't talked about yet.
É tudo tipo num botão, velho. É porque eu vou né? Tempo atrás, agora tem os 2.
That's right, we've saved the best for last. Doom has and always will be all about the guns, and Dark Ages has some of the most ridiculously powerful weapons that we've ever created.
Esse cara aqui, nossa.
Mean. Ancient. Brutal torture machines built to butcher, impale, and shred the minions of Hellwick.
Tem muita arma. Legal.
Only in Doom. That's the mission statement for the design of these never-before-seen, insanely fun-to-use tools of mayhem.
Eu sou o cara da RPG, eu gosto de RPG.
So let's take a look at some extended gameplay footage and see how these medieval mechanics synergize with the enemies and the environments to form the new combat loop for Doom The Dark Ages.
Cara, mano, o cara só caiu pouquinho e já, pô. Olha. Pô, o cara só deu uma caidinha e já fez esse barulho. Tô na vibe de apanhar e ficar estressado no vavá. Mano, pô. Mentira não, faz... que da hora. Faz tempo que eu não pego um joguinho competitivo pra jogar. Mano, vou mentir não, o que eu senti falta, tipo assim, o cara, ele tá com o escudo pra ficar preso. Tô sentindo falta de uma animação de finalização que o cara pega, pô, nesse escudo preso, ele puxa, já finaliza ali.
And under the hood, for the first time in an id game, we've made our combat more approachable and flexible than ever before, with a new difficulty system and sliders that will allow players to tune the speed and challenge of the game to whatever fits them best. You can slow things down or speed them up. It's a Doom for all Slayers.
And the gameplay doesn't end with just the Slayer.
Que isso, tem modo easy, mano?
We finally have for you, we've been waiting for 2 games now, to get in and pilot your very own 30-story Atlan, which is a mech. It's the size of a building, it's powerful, and you can beat giant Titan-sized demons to death with your gauntleted fists. And if that wasn't enough, we also have for you your very own fire-breathing, Gatling gun-toting cybernetic dragon. Neither of these are one-and-done features either. They have a full suite of abilities and even mini-bosses. The spectacle is epic. The Power Fantasy is unlike anything we've made it in. And the combat systems behind these features are deep and tons of fun.
Cara, cada bala ali do tamanho de
And as cool as all that is, we know that fans of single-player action games expect more than just great combat to pull them through the experience. So we're excited to share with you not just the gunplay, but the world of Doom The Dark Ages. Your hero's journey will take you to the far reaches of the Doom universe. Mysterious worlds from the Slayer's past, dark forests, dungeons, ancient hellscapes, battlefields, and worlds beyond. And through exploration, you'll be unlocking new abilities and godlike powers every step of the way. Now armed with your trusty shield saw, you're gonna cut, leap, and smash your way through environments full of secrets and treasures. There's always something new waiting to be discovered or destroyed. Now let's take a closer look at just one of the many missions you'll experience in Doom: The Dark Ages. In this level, you will meet the enemy at the gates and save a city from certain destruction. Explore the medieval battlefield outside the castle walls, seeking out targets and enemy formations along the way to engage with as you see fit, with any gun you choose. Explore what is the largest play space ever in a Doom game, discovering secret caves and dungeon-like mines in search of vital resources. You control the pace of the game, where you go, who you fight, and the objectives you pursue. It's a Doom sandbox full of war and ritual. Once you've broken the enemy assault, head back to the main gates, because the battle isn't over yet.
Pós Megazord.
And the soundtrack to your epic adventures will be composed by the award-winning team at Finishing Move, providing you with a metal soundscape that's loaded with guitars, medieval vibes, and pure adrenaline. You'll feel like you're expanding the legend of the Slayer with every mission you complete. And speaking of that legend, the story of Doom: The Dark Ages, like everything else in the game, is big. It's a summer blockbuster event with everything on the line, and you are the star of the show. Your power is coveted by your enemies and withheld from your allies. With the Slayer imprisoned at the start of our story, the balance of power between good and evil is shifting, and time is running out. It's a new story and the perfect entry point for new players. It's easier to access now as we've taken the narrative out of the codex and into the cutscenes, featuring new characters, old allies, and powerful new villains. And for returning players, it leads directly into the Doom 2016 Slayer's Testaments. It's an action story worthy of the Slayer's legend.
Eu podia falar que é igual Halo, mas só que eu também não sei o que é Halo.
10 years of making modern Doom games together, and we've done better with every game we've made.
The hope with all this, the goal, is to give players an experience that's as fun to play as it was to make, and make something that's good enough to become the best game id has ever made.
But that is for you to decide. When Doom: The Dark Ages releases,
Demônio sem dó. Maio. Será que tem alguma coisa escondida? Algo ali, pô. Um secret? Não tem um secret.
I cannot move.
Acabou-se.
You will feel like the super weapon in the center of a medieval war against hell.
All of Hazel's powers are designed around textile crafting and spinning wheels.
Mano, eu vou tentar jogar esse.
Built around chaining attacks and unraveling enemies.
E esse aí, são no mesmo mês. Então, pô, se a gente jogar certo, se a gente jogar pô, as cartas certas, eu compro tipo assim, dia 7. Eu compro o Game Pass. Aí, pô, vai ter dia 7 do outro mês? Tá. Nem dia 7. Eu compro dia 8 cedo. Já coloco pra baixar e falo, mano. É isso. Bônus Ninja Gaiden Black Play Today. Ah, eles meteram um bônus, não é verdade. Thanks for watching. Tem o... Isso aí. Mas isso, mano. Aqui. vimos. Mano, eventinho da hora, mano. Da hora. Bacana. Eu gosto desse evento mais rápido. É isso. Acabou-se.